Good afternoon, Musketeers. It's Friday, February 28th, 2020. I'm Lily Walsh.
And I'm Aiden Callahan. This is Xavier News.
From the Xavier University Television Studio, this is Xavier News. Your campus, your region, your world. This is Xavier News.
Countries around the world are working to respond to the increasing number of coronavirus cases outside of China. The Centers for Disease Control and Prevention is continuing to investigate the case of COVID-19 in a patient in Northern California that does not appear to be connected to travel or contact with anyone infected by the virus. The director of the National Center for Immunization and Respiratory Diseases said, quote, "It's possible that it could be the first instance of a community spread," end quote. Health officials stress that there is no need to panic and that everyone should maintain good hygiene habits.
Roger J. Stone Jr., a longtime friend of President Trump's, was sentenced to more than 3 years in prison on last Thursday for obstructing a congressional inquiry. Mr. Stone was convicted of lying to congressional investigators and blocking the testimony of a witness. Mr. Stone is among a half-dozen former Trump aides to be convicted, many on charges of lying to investigators or obstructing inquiries, in cases stemming from the investigation by special counsel Robert Mueller into Russia's election interference. Most already served their sentences or are in prison.
Sarah Suchka recently took a closer look into how Xavier is handling recycling and sustainability.
Here's the story.
Earth, because this is our only Earth, and to support, the billions of lives on it and our lives in general, we have to be conscious of and cognizant with, how we're using our resources and who really needs the most help.
So I think sustainability is important because we have to recognize the problem of climate change as it occurs around us. We have to recognize humans' role in creating this changing climate.
In regards to sustainability, we don't need everyone doing it perfectly, we just need everyone to be doing something.
It's very obvious that students care about sustainability at Xavier, and so do the faculty, and so do many of the people that work here. But I don't think that the executive level has quite recognized that and worked for sustainability in an impactful way, such as how most other universities do so.
One thing that Xavier Student Sustainability has talked about that Xavier should work on as a university has been recycling for the past couple of years, because it's something that we have grown up with thinking is normal. At least I have. I'm from Cleveland, outside Cleveland, but was always growing up with a recycling program in my neighborhood, and it was very natural to separate the trash from the recycling. And I think Xavier has that initially, but then taking the extra steps to see where it's going next has been something that our group has talked about a lot.
So one thing Xavier could do better would be to hire a sustainability director and create a department for sustainability. Most regional and nationally recognized universities have done this by now, and so this creates a systems approach to sustainability at the university.
Sustainability is important on Xavier's campus because it's part of our Jesuit identity, I guess you could say. As part of care for the whole person, it kind of ties into care for the planet.
Okay, so the objective of Xavier Student Sustainability is to connect students that might not necessarily be from the sustainability majors or in that department to events on campus that surround sustainability.
I think it's also important to note that the 3 R's, reduce, reuse, recycle, come in that order for a reason. That reduce comes first, reuse comes second, and recycle comes last. And so if we didn't make the waste to begin with, we wouldn't need to recycle it.
In terms of sustainability, Xavier needs to work on being open to different options.
So if you didn't know a lot about sustainability or about how to go about tackling a problem like that, I think a lot of it starts with just personal habits, and I think then it can seem less insurmountable.
Students can become more involved with Xavier Sustainability, whether that's through the club on campus, Xavier Student Sustainability, or just by becoming more aware. If you go to xavier.edu/green, there's a whole hub where you can be linked to different organizations, past initiatives, and all that good stuff.
Cincinnati's first minority-owned brewery, Esoteric Brewing, announced that they will be opening their doors this spring. Located at 900 East McMillan Street, this is part of the Walnut Hills Redevelopment Foundation's $20 million effort to revive Paramount Square. The owners, Brian Jackson and Marvin Abrinica, wrote on the website for the bar that, quote, in an industry that traditionally lacks diversity, Esoteric brings you the first African-American and Asian-American owned brewery in the greater Cincinnati, end quote. Anyone over the age of 21 will be able to visit Esoteric Brewing when it opens this May.
Skyline Chili welcomed newborn babies yesterday with a special Skyline-themed gift since it was National Chili Day. Any baby born yesterday in the Cincinnati area received a Skyline onesie, and their parents were gifted a Skyline gift card. It's only fitting that local babies will be introduced to Skyline Chili as soon as possible.
All right, that's all from the news desk, people.
We'll be right back with Kurt Berry and the Xavier Sports Report.
Welcome to another Xavier Sports Report. I'm Kurt Berry. Xavier University men's basketball had a couple games over the past week, winning one and losing one. They lost to Villanova this past Saturday, but picked up a win against DePaul on Tuesday. Nalji Marshall dominated on Tuesday, picking up 23 points as Xavier's offense exploded, knocking down a season-high 12 three-pointers. Xavier women's basketball picked up a win against Providence last Friday. Ariana Gray led the way with a double-double, picking up 19 points and 11 rebounds. Xavier was locked down on defense and won 61-42. Men's baseball had a tough weekend, but they faced challenging opponents. They got swept by number 15 Ole Miss and lost their only game against number 3 Louisville. The guys look to rally as they've got a 3-game series at the College of Charleston this weekend. All right, everyone, that's all for now. Have a great weekend and tune in next time for the Xavier Sports Report. I'm Kurt Berry, and as always, let's go X.